Alright, what is up YouTube? HPJ here, and today I got some news for you guys from the uh from the OCG. We have a new, not one but two new agent monsters, and we have a brand new spell card to accompany them in the next structure deck. In addition to that, we also have reprints of some cards uh, to add into the fray. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at them. First off is this lovely angel right here. This is Guardian of the Agent of Moon. It is a Link 2 fairy type monster, light attribute with 1800 attack, points right and bottom right. Requirements: 2 fairy type monsters. You only use this card's first and second effect once per turn each. If this card is Link 7, you can send one Sanctuary Discard or one card that specifically lists that card in its text from your deck to the graveyard. Or if Sanctuary Discard is on the field or in the graveyard, you can add the Agent of Mystery Earth from your deck to your hand instead. Its second effect is you can tribute one fairy type monster, then target one card your opponent controls and destroys it. The next monster is the next card, I'm sorry, is the Sacred Water of the Sky. It is a normal spell card, and in effect reads you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once. Second effect of this card once per turn each. You can activate one Sanctuary of the Sky from your deck, or add one monster that specifically lists Sanctuary of the Sky from your deck to your hand. Then, if Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points for. You can gain 500 life points for each Hyperion and Agent monster you control. Then, its second effect is if monsters that specifically list Sanctuary of the Sky in its text will destroy a battle, you can just banish this card from your graveyard instead. There's a beautiful background too. I believe this is the fountain that houses the Sanctuary of the Sky. It's a very nice picture, by the way. The next card is, and this is a shocker to everybody because we did not think we were gonna get this, and they did. And I think Konami was probably hell out of us with this one. This is the Executor of Hades, Pluto. It's level 5, Dark Attribute, Fairy type Synchro Tuner monster with 2300 attack and 0 defense. Requirements: 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners. This card is always treated as an agent card. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. First effect: once a turn, you can manage one monster from your graveyard, then target one effect monster on the field and change the face of the position. If this card is quick effect if Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard. Its second effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Sanctuary of the Sky from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Ooh, excuse me. And then we have Archlord Christian. We have the Herald of Orange Light. We have Eva. Sanctum of Parshath, Creature Swap, Divine Punishment, Balance of Judgment, Herald of Pure Light, and Celestial Knight Lord Parshath, all being reprinted in the structure. The structure deck is amazing. It's going to be beast when it comes out. The problem is that the TCG version will definitely not be this, but just let's take a look at each of the cards themselves. Let's start off first of all with the Guardian of the Ancients Moon. For the fact that Guardian of the Ancients Moon is legitimately, because I think a lot of people were expecting this. We were not thinking that we were going to get a card to represent the moon. We definitely did not think we were going to get cards to represent Pluto. I think at that point, because they're not considered planets, that's probably why we did not think these cards were going to get fruition. But then you look at Master Hyperion, but he is the sun. Technically, sun is a planet. So I guess they decided to break the rules themselves. I mean, if you look at this in a standpoint, I'm going to be very efficient because when I talk about the agents, I also talk about Sailor Moon because Sailor Moon, of course, is something the remnants of, well, each of the guardians themselves are named after planets. The agents are named after the planets. And it's funny because, yeah, you really did not think that this would happen. You didn't think that Moon and Pluto would be represented, and bam, here they are getting represented. The issue I have with the cards overall, and this is just my one thing, is that The Agent of Earth is such an amazing monster, but they only really do is search for it. There's legitimately no card that will special summon Earth or give Earth an additional normal summon to be on the field. And that kind of sucks because Earth is basically their searcher. It's their shadows. Is and it could be the reason why that card effect of when it's normal summon has its own limitations. Like it has to be normal summon. It has to have additional stuff going on for it to even search for its Hyperion. Get the effects of Hyperion. I mean, to get the hand because of that. So yeah, this. I mean, besides that, just looking at these cards and their effects, these are really good. These are really, really good effects to support, especially the moon because she can search for Earth. She can go get Sanctuary of the Sky or guards that list Sanctuary of the Sky and put them into the graveyard. Basically, this is just to help set up for the graveyard for a lot of the other cards that are going to have effects as well. Because you remember the Synchro Monster Hyperion, well, both the synchro that the new version of him that's dark, a lot of the newer support cards, like even Neptune, can take some benefits from this. So yeah, this is really good. And then of course it has the ability to pop a fairy to take out an opponent's monster, and that's always good. No opponent's card, and that's always good too, especially when you want to get rid of threats. So yeah, that's the Agent Moon. And then the Sacred Water part, yeah, like I said, this is just another beneficial part to add Sanctuary of the Sky from your deck or graveyard to your hand, or to get a monster, or to get monsters that do list Sanctuary of the Sky attacks. So this literally means anyone, even counter fairies, could use this because you can get some of their resources because they have Sanctuary of the Sky in their as well. So you're not just thinking of agents, you can also think of counter fairies in the sense of the fact that they're just getting more support from this as well because they're all focused around Sanctuary of the Sky. And like I said, this is some beautiful artwork that illustrates the stories of Sanctuary of the Sky. Now, with that said and done, the protection effect from battle, it's pretty meek. If it was something to protect it from card effects, this would be a lot more better. But I guess you can be choosers. Makes sense. Pluto. Pluto being their first dark to the dark synchro monster. Their first um analogy of the this honestly this is awesome to see that Pluto is getting a monster. The fact that they're not calling it the agent of Hades Pluto or the yeah, it's kind of saddening because they could have just that have helped with copyright. I mean, not copyright, but that would have helped with censorship. You know, I want to actually know what they'll censor when it comes to GCG because they'll have to call him the agent of Hades Pluto, or would they call him the agent of the end Pluto? So it's very weird to see, but I think this is honestly, like I said, another good addition because of the fact that, other than be honest with you, no one really cares for the first. The fact is, this is putting someone face down. It could be no, actually no. Book of Moon effects actually can be beneficial because then you can stop play from your opponent. So I take that back. Getting to this monster is not going to be hard because it's a genetic summon. It is a tuner, so if you want to go get to the bigger Hyperion, you definitely can with this. Um, I'm also looking at the fact that I believe Neptune has level manipulation. If I'm not mistaken, it was Neptune or one of the other Hyperions has level manipulation, so you can easily take advantage of that and then synchro into the big guy. I actually want to know what the story of Pluto's and Moon are going to be at this point, since they are the next two agents being added, and because of the history of the planets themselves, I definitely want to hear about what is going on. Like, how did, Pluto and Uranus get corrupted? How did Pluto get corrupted? Because you can definitely tell Pluto has some corruption to it. Or maybe it's just the fact that Pluto is the guardian of the underworld in its lore. That the being of Pluto is the underworld's guardian, so it could be evidence to that. So, um, yeah, that is a good tale to tell there. Moving on from that, the reprints for Christia, the Herald of Orange Light, and Eva, I think are just additional pluses to this because I mean they are circulating around agent support as well as um, support for you know Sanctuary of the Sky, Light Monsters, any utilities that they're gonna have for the archetype. So yeah, it's nice to see that there. Of course, the reprint of Sanctum Parshaft is just another boost to Parshaft itself. Being as that this card is Sanctuary of the Sky, while it's on the field in the graveyard, so that even boosts up even more effects in utility of effects as well. There's just a lot of pluses that they're getting in this. The creature swap, I think, is just for the Nova Summoner, because I do believe they said Nova Summoner was going to be in the structure deck. Divine Judgment, no, Divine Punishment to go along with the Sanctuary theme. Balance of Judgment, I think just because it's solemn, that's why it's being added. The Herald of Pure Light to play around with the Mystic Shine Walls. Cause I don't really care too much for the Herald of Pure Light. I mean, I know there's a lot of things you can do with it because of its timing, its attribute, and all that. It's just to me, it feels like a there card. Yay, you're getting reprinted, but yay, or who's gonna use you? Because at that point, it's just like gotcha, and it's a lot better. And then, of course, the Celestial Night Lord Parshaft. That was a great addition to this. Doubt we'll get this if it does come to the TCG. I want to actually know how bad of a version it is. If this comes out, that would be November. So that would be right November. So right around the time these cards come out for the TCG. And I think at that point we'll know exactly what the change up in their name would be. Especially because I would like to know how they're going to change up the Moon and Pluto, if that is the case. I think keeping it as the Guardian of the Agents Pluto, or the Guardian of the Agents Moon would be great. But I don't know what they'll do with Hate. What they'll do with Pluto, if that's the case. But it's nice to see them all be represented, and it's great too to this fandom. But yeah. With that said, guys, let me know what you think about the new additions. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description box below so you guys can check this out for yourselves, and also let me know what you guys think about these new inclusions and will you play them and what ideas and setups you have for them. Looking at it overall. So, with that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed of when I do upload more content. In the description box below, of course, is the social media links if you guys would like to interact with me there. And I do stream, so you can check me out on Twitch. So with that said, you guys, that's everything for today's video, and I'll catch you all next time.